Stugotz came in here a bit spicy today.
Why?
I don't know.
Spicy.
I don't know why you came in spicy, but you
14 days off. I mean,
so
a little spicy.
You don't want to be back, or like?
No, I do want to be back. Listen, I miss the smell of urine in that garage. I miss the commutes. I missed you. I miss Greg Cote. I missed the shipping container. I missed everyone. Mike is sweating. I mean, the pits are sweating. How about that?
The boys are back.
Yeah.
You missed the pits.
The reason that Stugotz, or I think Stugotz is spicy, I don't know if there are other reasons, is because he came in here and upon seeing Greg Cote, by way of hello, he says, "Is today the day we say the thing?" And I'm like, "What's the thing?" And Greg Cody's like, "The opportunity has to present itself to say the thing." And so I'm like, "What's the thing? Is today the day we're saying the thing?"
It could be.
It might be.
Yeah, it could
But
be.
what opportunity do you need in order to say the thing?
Present itself.
Can I just
it
ask
does.
you to say the thing, or that's not one of the things?
Not the
that's
You
not
don't
the way
do
that.
that. You don't do that.
You don't force the
you
thing.
don't force the thing. The thing
Yeah.
just comes to you, Dan.
Yeah, just be
in
careful
normal
with the thing.
conversation.
Yeah.
You're going to want to be
Yeah.
careful with
Yeah,
this.
you can't let it insist upon itself. It has to be a natural flow.
I will tell you that Greg is very hesitant to say the thing.
I
I know
am.
he wants to say the thing. I am perfectly willing to say the thing, but I will not force saying the thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
It. Yeah.
That's fair.
And I would love for everyone to know what the thing is, but we're going to have to find out together because I don't know what the thing is. And I'd like to prod it out of you by just saying, hey, why don't you tell everybody whether today is the day we're going to say the thing?
You don't force the thing.
Well, will you let us know when the thing was said, or will the thing be said and we just won't know that
Well, can
was
we
the
have
thing?
hints? Can we have some hints around the thing so
You'll-
that we
you'll
can
know the
expect
thing.
it? We'll know it.
You'll know the thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
when we
be
get to the
obvious.
thing.
Yeah.
I know the
The thing will come at the right time.
Oh, I
Yep.
guess.
Right.
I know a thing, but I don't know if it's the thing that you know.
Well, wow.
I don't know
What's
if
your
Greg
thing?
know. So we know a thing that I don't know that Greg knows.
What's your
Chris,
thing?
does Greg know the thing?
I don't know the thing.
Hold on.
Do
let's,
I?
Off mic,
Well,
just
no,
ask
That
the
was
thing.
good teamwork
I
right
think
there.
what Billy is doing there is there's some sort of secret about Greg Cote that they're wondering whether the audience should know, and his own son's a bit of an oaf and can't keep up with what's happening around
I don't
here.
know anything.
So Greg doesn't know the thing that I know, so that's not Greg's thing. But my thing is Greg related.
Yeah, but my thing is the same as Greg's thing. So why don't you try your thing first? You want to say
Well,
your
that's
thing?
not how the thing comes up. You just
No, it
said
has to
it's
come
got to
up
come up
naturally.
You're right.
casually. You don't
You're
just
right.
ask
You're
and
right.
get the
Yeah.
thing. That's what you just did to me.
I just
Fair
realized
point.
the
Yeah.
thing. My thing is totally different from your thing or your thing. I got a completely different thing that I thought was the thing.
Is it stuff the audience would like? Is all of it
Oh,
stuff the
my
audience
Oh,
would
the
like?
audience
thing
would love
is-
our
Yeah.
thing.
We want
that. We got
The
more than one
audience
thing.
would welcome
Oh, yeah.
these things, you know?
Yeah.
The
The
things will come
audience
at the right time.
will like my thing. Dan will hate my thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm guessing that all of these things I will hate.
No,
I'm
no,
guessing
you'll
that-
love my thing.
You'll love our
You'll
thing,
love my
I think.
You're
yeah.
passionate about my thing.
Yeah. It's ours, right,
So
Greg?
It is ours.
You're telling me there's the possibility that today, as Stugotz and I storm in off vacation and Stugotz is spicy, you're telling me that there's the possibility in the first few minutes that we're here back at it after Amin and Zach Harper, who have very bad judgment, tried to end everything Meadowlark Media tries to be about in the last 2 hours yesterday?
Really?
You're telling me that what I've arrived to is the possibility that soon in today's show, 3 things will be revealed? Three different...
big
Three
things.
big
Wow.
Yeah.
Ours the biggest.
Yes.
No, I know my thing makes Dan feel things.
Do all of these intersect though? Do they match? Like if Mike says the thing, is it going to be shocking to all of us? Is it or
Well, my thing is particularly local.
So is ours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Billy, is yours local?
I think we're.
No.
No.
Now I'm starting to think we're crossing things.
It could
You
be.
think we have the same thing?
I think we do.
are
Really?
the 3 things the same
Wow.
thing? Is there any
No,
possibility
Really?
of
Billy's
that?
working off a
Billy's is
thing.
different.
No,
His is
mine's
national.
But
yeah.
but
Yeah.
what the one
International.
thing we have concluded is
International.
Chris Cote knows nothing.
That's right.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so that's the thing. That's the thing we can agree on. Everything's the same as I left it.
But hold on. If 2 of these things are specifically local, we should address the things in the local hour, right?
If they come up naturally. So I've got a list of stuff in front of me here that I missed while I was on vacation that I wanted to go over with you guys because I don't know what you've been talking about.
Well, hopefully you get to the thing.
Well, I'm gonna cast a wide net here to see if I lure out two of the things here in the local hour.
All the secrecy is getting me excited. I kind of want to show my thing.
Everybody wants to show their thing.
I want Tony to show his thing.
I quickly wanted Greg Cote to show his thing. You guys tell me, nope, it's got to come up at its own time. I don't think it comes up anymore.
Do me a favor. Get a piece of paper, and show me your thing.
A little peek.
Wait a minute. You can't know the thing that
You want me to
asking?
write
No,
down?
No, wait a minute.
Greg,
Don't
let's
do
write
that
it
to the
down.
audience. You guys are assholes.
Hey, no, I'll show you. Look,
Hold up.
hold on.
No,
Hey, wait a minute. I didn't do anything, yo.
Language.
I just got here.
Greg,
Yeah.
I'm going to show you my thing. You show me your thing.
Okay.
No, wait a minute.
Don't look, Dan.
Do not do this where you guys have more information than the audience and continue to tease the thing because now the audience right now wants to know all three things. I want to know all three things. I'm out of the loop here. I don't know anything that's going on. And now you guys are going to share information and you told me it's got to come up naturally. You can't just ask for the thing. You guys made the rules and now you're going to break them right away.
Greg, since I'm sitting like Mike has better sight lines to me, I'm going to hold up. I wrote it down, Mike.
I'm going to come in there and show you my thing.
Okay.
All right.
I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
You have to look closely.
Stugotz and I have the same thing.
Yeah, we do.
But how do you know? You spoke before about the
They
thing.
didn't
It's
speak about it.
unspoken.
They think they have the thing. That was the language they were speaking
Right.
when I got in here. Like I was not clear.
Stugotz and Mike are now verifying things over there in the corner, Dan. Oh, different.
I do have a bigger thing.
Yeah.
I have a bigger thing.
Much bigger.
That's surprising. That's an upset.
Isn't that an
Unbelievable.
upset?
Yeah.
I mean, how about
big.
that? My thing is bigger than Mike's. I mean,
Well,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Ours is bigger.
yeah, me and Greg. Yeah. Me and bigger
Wow. They
things.
share it.
So Stugotz and Greg
much
are the
bigger.
same size?
Much bigger.
Yeah, and bigger than Mike.
How about bigger than Billy?
Well, now I'm going to walk in and I'm going to just show Stugotz because I can't show Greg because the thing kind of is a surprise for Greg.
Oh, it's
But
a
he's not
moment.
gonna
Wow.
tell
So
me
now,
about it.
Billy, wait a minute. So what's happening right now is that you're about to come in here with your big thing. You think it's a big thing, but Mike has now seen the things.
I'm telling all my friends about how huge his thing
Okay,
is.
well,
The hammer of
hopefully
a thing.
hopefully
I don't even want, I'm not showing my thing anymore.
Why are you assuming
You're ashamed of your
I'm
thing?
ashamed of my thing.
you're assuming, Mike Ryan, that it's not or it is going to come up casually today on the show because I now want all three things. I want to see in retrospect what it is that just happened. Billy, get your thing in here quickly.
No,
please.
let's just cut out my thing. I don't want to. I'm not showing my thing anymore.
Okay, you're ashamed of your thing because Stugotz's thing and Cody's thing is so giant.
It tramples his thing.
is.
Yeah.
Can I see your thing?
Yeah.
Just to say that we.
This was. Don't tell anybody.
Whittingham,
Right.
how good is that thing?
He thought he had the biggest thing, and then
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Right.
It's a little.
It pales.
It's
in
something
A
comparison.
little underwhelming, it looks like, by Woody's
Yeah.
reaction.
All right, it's a little local thing. Yours is a little local thing that may
Yes.
come up now or may not, may be gone forever because you're now ashamed of it. Billy, get in here. And you are now sharing this only with Stugotz, and Stugotz is now the juror on. Are you going to be the judge on whose thing is bigger, yours or Billy's?
Wait, Billy wants to see my thing. It's Greg's also. Give him some credit, okay? I mean,
It's a Cote thing.
It's hard for me to top his thing too. I can try to dress up my thing, do some fancy things with my thing, but his thing is just so much
Oh,
bigger
wow,
than my thing.
Stu-
Billy has a thing.
Stugotz.
I mean-
Stugotz was looking at it, and there was longing in his eyes.
There's a thing.
I saw it. Stugotz gave away.
I didn't have Billy as someone who would show his thing.
He
I'm a
showed it to
shower,
me,
yeah.
and it's big. It's impressive.
All right, let's
It was
see.
a Tony level gaze from Stugotz.
Yes.
All right, let's see if it
It's a
comes
big thing.
in the netting of the sports stuff I missed, because I do want to talk about some of the things locally that people care about, because I'm legitimately excited for this Dolphins season. And God, it's been a long time since I could say something like that. And why? That's near the thing?
You're getting close to the
You're
thing.
getting close to the thing. I mean, we're very close to the thing. I mean,
We're close to the thing. Pick something that's close to the thing.
Wait, I don't want to
that
get. I
thing.
don't know. That's too fast. All of that's too fast. The thing has to happen at the end. It can't happen. It can't be this.
I mean, it happens when
I'm
it
go-
happens.
I'm
We
going-
don't force
okay,
the
I'm
thing.
I'm going to go somewhere else.
That was just the tip, dude.
Mike is claiming, you speak of tips,
Yeah.
exclusive reports, reporting in this exciting Dolphin season, Mike is claiming that the idea of Gesicki being traded, Dolphin fans don't want him traded. I would guess, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, that Dolphin fans are saying, wait, no, Gesicki makes everything better. You need him. And if I say to you, nope, coach needs a blocking tight end, needs to be a blocker. They don't need him. That's not what, they're not doing that anymore. Whatever you wanted from Gesicki, no, they don't need it anymore. They won't get very much for it, even though it looks to you valuable, because I'm like, yeah, throw it to that guy. He seems to catch it all the time. And he's hard to cover. But you claim to have started that. You broke that story.
Yeah, we started the fire. We started the fire. Just asking, seeing snap counts and seeing how Gesicki was being used in the preseason and comparing Gesicki's skill set to that of George Kittle's and some other stops of the Kyle Shanahan offense and Mike McDaniels told us he plans on running. You have to be able to block at that position in order to get playing time. And that is not what this tight end does. This tight end is basically a wide receiver. He's lined up as a wide receiver the majority of last season. So he's playing late into preseason games. He's not getting the majority of the snap count. He's obviously got an in-demand skill set. He is a special tight end when it comes to receiving. He's a good fit for a lot of teams around the NFL, and this is a team that gave up draft picks for Tyreek Hill. This is a team that just got draft picks because of the tampering. He's an asset. You have a pretty skillful offense. It might make a lot of sense to just trade this player away and get some picks in return and start playing some tight ends that are a little bit better at blocking.
But if you don't think that he's a tight end, then why not just call him a receiver? And if you treat him as a receiver, would he not be one of the 3 best receivers on your team? And I know that their receiving group right now is catered on speed, but based off of his numbers from his career, he's a very good wide receiver. And if you put a player of that size
from the tight end position, though,
well,
with safeties and
not
linebackers
really.
covering him, yeah, I think.
You think he's a better wide receiver than, say, Cedric Wilson?
No.
Yes.
No. Come on.
Yes.
No.
If you
Come
look
on.
at his
No,
career,
but his speed.
If we line up Cedric Wilson and Gesicki and ask him to do wide receiver drills, Gesicki's going to be really good for a tight end. He's not going to be good for a wide receiver like Cedric Wilson.
but if we're saying you stick him towards the line of scrimmage and use him in your offense, like his receiving production would indicate a player who can now. Some of this is related to the fact
when
that
linebackers are covering him.
Correct.
Or safeties are in the box. Like
Yes.
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I rate the player. I think he's a good player, and I'd be curious to see how McDaniel actually uses him because the tight ends he's usually been around are primarily blockers. George Kittle is a phenomenal receiver and a really terrific blocker.
Right, that's the thing, right? Like you have somebody that's so multifaceted in that role. When you use him, now he's an ultimate blocker. Like him and Gronk, I think, are the 2 best blocking and receiving tight ends that we have. And then you go to Gesicki, who's not a blocking tight end. You can't line him up out wide and just have him do the same things.
But from a talent perspective, he for me is one of the 5 to 7 best receiving tight ends, and you're just going to give that up because he doesn't fit your system. I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like giving up talents
I'm with you.
because we're placing the priority of the coach over the talent.
But he has value, doesn't he?
I understand, but he has value, like
Right.
Chris says, and you've lost some draft picks here that you weren't accounting for losing.
But
Have
then
you not lost the value though? By this is rare before a season where the Dolphins have someone who's clearly available to the league, and anyone would value that. That the league, anyone can use what he does. There are a lot of them now in the league, guys who do that, but the Dolphins do have something that has value that ceases to have value the closer we get to the season and they need roster spots, and he's not going to be helping them because what's just happened is a player that we know to be valuable. We don't get many of those in football around here. We can all see it. He's responsible for one of the 2 greatest catches in Dolphins history. It's him and Aronde Gadsden, one-handed across the middle. We've never seen anything like it.
You left out Nat Moore. That's not fair.
No, I called
Helicopter.
Gesicki's the best tight end in Dolphin history. I called him that last year, and I stand by that. But I just
Randy McMichael would like a word.
Yeah,
seriously. Yeah.
Yes!
Play that game.
Yeah.
you know how pathetic of a counter that is, like historically.
Bruce Hardy would like a word.
Yeah.
Joe Rhodes would like a word.
Keith
Troy-
Jackson.
The big
Keith
dog.
Jackson.
Troy Drayton would like a word is not exactly the own you think it is.
Anthony Fasano would like a word.
Whittingham, I think one of the things that's interesting about whether or not they trade him or can use him is I think that's the epicenter of us not understanding what we're watching, Whitty, because you're like, good player. Why couldn't anybody use him? Why couldn't he be good in any system? And McDaniel is here to revolutionize the way all this stuff is done. And they really have chosen, with the trade they made and the coach they have, they've chosen to go all in on, no, we ride the coach, the scheme. If he tells us this guy doesn't fit, sorry, Gesicki, you're going to have to leave, because this looks to be something like the most explosive offense from receivers that the Dolphins have had, like, since Duper and Clayton, since Marino.
Yes. This is a conversation we're not used to having about the Miami Dolphins, which is why they're really good. They just cut Sony Michel, a pretty good running back, because he wasn't even their fourth best running back. Now we're talking about trading Mike Gesicki, who is a starting caliber tight end in the league, but doesn't fit this team. And I love that Mike McDaniel is being true to his strength, which is he's a run game guru, and it's his run game which requires a blocking tight end, which is going to make all the more open lanes for Tyreek, for Waddle. That's why Tua is going to be really good this year, is because he's got a running game.
There's a lot of outside runs that are designed within this offense. They got speedy backs. Mostert's one of the fastest backs in the NFL right now. And in order to get, he's the fastest. In order to get to those outside runs, you need a tight end that can generate some push at the line of scrimmage. Gesicki's not that. He very well may be a Pro Bowl caliber tight end. I think he's excellent. But this is all about getting value.
Correct.
The Stephen Ross tampering thing was not something you necessarily saw coming, and you should probably take the opportunity. And I know what the point that Dan was trying to make, which is, well, teams have you over a barrel ready to show you the 50 states because they know that you don't necessarily need him. But he's on a franchise tag. He's on an expiring deal anyways.
Thank you, Roy. Roy, thank you. I don't know why Mike went into maximum football analysis guy, Roy, but thank you. You noticed the same thing that I did. He got to yammering and all of us tuned out, except somebody was put over a barrel.
And all 50 states.
50 states.
What is
Something
that
happened.
expression?
It's a saying.
What
That's
is
a
that? I've
thing.
never heard that.
It's an
saying.
it is now.
You miss a lot over the last 2 weeks. I mean, that's honestly like basically a drinking game right
Show
now.
cannon.
Yeah.
Charles Clay would like a word.
Was this one of the things? Was any of what we did one of the things?
No, but
okay.
you're brushing up against one of the things.
You are.
Really?
Yeah.
And you're brushing up against a huge.
Well,
Not your thing.
Okay.
My thing I tore up already. I don't have a thing anymore.
Why?
No, Mike. No, Mike.
Because I can.
No, Mike.
My thing is not as big as Stugotz's.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
It
We
doesn't
still
matter.
want it, though.
Size doesn't matter.
All right.
We want the payoff. But it doesn't. It has to come
Mike's
up
going to show his
naturally.
thing. No, he's going to show his
There's
thing.
plenty of
I
opportunity.
bet your thing's nice.
All right. Hang on. I'm gonna write
It's not
down.
about the size of the thing. It's the motion of the ocean.
What are you doing?
What is
What are
happening
you
here?
doing?
Dirty.
But that's winning him not knowing how to play the game because he doesn't have a thing.
Barrels and motions of the ocean.
All right. I'm gonna
What's
turn
going on
around.
here?
50
I'm gonna turn
states,
around.
I mean.
I'm
What
gonna
is
turn
the-
around, guys.
Hold on.
And I'm gonna show you my thing.
Hold on. Why is it placed there?
You're going to show the shipping
Those are
container.
cool
your thing.
pants, by the way.
I've seen the thing. Not that
What kind of
impressive.
pants are those?
Those are cool pants.
I got to squint to see this thing. Yeah, it's not that big.
Mike, should I come in and show him my thing?
A lot of people have that.
Yeah, I'll show you my thing.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
You're going to like this thing.
A lot of people have Mike's thing.
This is our thing. It's mine and Greg.
Yeah.
Very average.
Chris, while we're talking and while we're waiting for Stugotz to go in there with his giant
Why is he
thing,
taking his time?
because it's Stugotz.
He's writing it again. You already had it written.
Greg,
I spelled the word wrong.
I need to
Who
filibuster.
cares?
I need to filibuster while I wait for him to get in position. It's a little slow. He's been off for 14 days and he came in spicy. I want to make fun of your
That's
dad
tomorrow.
because we were excited about the Dolphins and he flew right into homer mode and like he is now maximum in on the Dolphins. The Dolphins are going to win how many games this year? 15?
15.
Whoa. Hang on.
Well, hold on. We have to do win-losses still. We started that a couple weeks ago.
Wait. Let's just put everything on pause until we see Stugotz's
Yeah,
thing.
because this conversation is dangerously close to the flame.
Yeah.
If you can't
Is it?
say- Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Thank
Roy's
you.
eyes. Roy, your eyes.
How did you spell that word wrong?
cannot
How's that word
believe
spelled
that.
wrong? How?
No, Dan almost saw it.
Yeah.
Dan almost saw
I
it.
can't see that. Oh my god.
Roy, your eyes bulged. Your eyes were stunned. How many hints can you give us here on talk around the thing because we can't give it away? But how big is it?
It's a launch. It's a monster. It's just gigantic.
It's big thing.
Not to toot my own horn, but I've seen a lot of big things in my day. That might be the biggest.
Okay.
Wow.
I do want to get, and I hopefully will get, to all of these things
Dolphins, Pats, week 1.
so that we could get the payoff. Tyreek Hill says to Armando Salguero that the Chiefs threw him in the trash, threw him to the side like he was trash. I don't know why Tyreek Hill now all of a sudden has a problem with the Chiefs. It seemed like everything was going fine.
Not there anymore. That's why.
But it seemed like they were all happy, and then he could get money, and they could get draft picks, and but
podcast.
Are we now learning that he was not happy in Kansas City, and that's why he's not there?
He wanted this contract in Kansas City. Kansas City did not want to give him that contract, therefore he felt like trash. And honestly, my takeaway from all the Tyreek Hill quotes is, man, Kansas City did a great job making sure he didn't talk. The guy can't shut up now. He's everywhere. He's making news every day. I see a new tweet about something he said. What did he say in Kansas City that you remember?
This he came here to be a star, came here to be a leader, came here to be Rick Ross is on my podcast, came here to Miami to be Miami, to become a star in the league, and started his podcast with his friend. I told you guys the story. We were going to do a home and home. He was going to come here. We were going to do something. It's sort of welcome to Miami. He was going and doing like 4 or 5 people from Miami because he wants to start the podcast here because he wants to be a star in this city. Kansas City wouldn't let Kelsey do the dating show. Kansas City, very good at shutting all this down. No, we don't need flamboyance. We don't need anything. We need to boo unity.
He did that show, though.
I know, but they didn't want him to, and then he regrets. Didn't we
Did
talk
it
to
anyway,
him?
though.
Yeah, but he didn't love afterward. I think he regrets doing it. Whatever. It was probably a mistake. It was probably something he shouldn't have done, and Kansas City as an organization was wise to not want him to do it. But Tyreek Hill wants to be a star here. Is that not clear?
Very. Yeah.
And wants to be the leader of this team, wants to be the guy, because in Kansas City, hey, who was responsible for the success? Was it Tyreek Hill or was it Patrick Mahomes? Hey, who was responsible? Yeah, both of them. But he comes here, hey, Tua ain't been shit. If he makes Tua, if McDaniel says to us, Stugotz, if he says to us, when I heard Tyreek Hill was available, I did not know a non-quarterback player of this caliber who could break the league would be available. I said, give them everything. I just want space. I want a coach. Give them everything in exchange for Tyreek Hill. The reason that there's this enthusiasm around the Dolphins, the reason why the Browns have been the last couple of years is because Tyreek Hill has brought all of that to Miami. Miami hasn't been relevant in 20 years. He's made them that.
The speed is just so exciting. And I have a theory about, at least on Tyreek's comments about Tua and in relation to how good Patrick Mahomes is. In talking to Mike McDaniel, he kind of alluded to, he didn't really get into it, but he alluded to, last year's staff didn't exactly stand by this quarterback. It wasn't a great situation that Tua was in. And I think that Mike McDaniel has turned to Tyreek Hill to ask him to be a leader, give him this confidence, the confidence that he saw at that charity luau, and just make sure that this guy knows that when he goes out there, he's a killer, he's a leader, and you all believe in him. And I think he's amplifying his own beliefs and putting it out there for the public to lift his quarterback up.
Correct. And Tua needs that. He needs what he's getting publicly from Tyreek. Tua's the most maligned top 5 quarterback in history in his first 2 seasons in this league.
You have him as a top 5 quarterback?
Okay.
Top 5 draft
Selected.
pick. Top 5 draft pick.
Okay.
Not all time.
Think about it.
He might be top 5
Agree to
in
disagree.
Okay, well,
Mike?
all time in Dolphin history.
NFL. I love this kid.
Okay. Malign means unfairly criticized. Okay? Deshaun Watson is hanging over his head. Tom Brady's hanging over his head. Now Lamar Jackson comes back as somebody chasing him. It's never been about Tua on this team. Now, when you have Tyreek Hill saying he's my quarterback, he's the most accurate guy I've ever caught passes from, that lifts Tua. And it lifts the opinion of Tua from other people. And that's valuable. I think Tua needs that. And it's all, Tyreek Hill being outspoken is good every which way. It makes the Dolphins interesting. It helps his podcast. It helps his brand.
I don't trust him to say the right things the rest of the season. Like, I don't trust him to not say a wrong thing somewhere.
Oh, it could be.
You want Tyreek Hill? Like, Kansas City shut down. When I talk about where organizations try to shut down personality value, this sport does it better than any of them. Not only our quarterbacks are going to matter. Nobody else is going to be a star.
Right.
Only our quarterbacks are going to be in the commercials. Everyone else is interchangeable.
Yeah, and Tyreek needs to be the star of this team. If after 3 or 4 games he's still looking for his first touchdown catch, then let's see how affable he is.
But I'm wondering what you don't trust, meaning if things go bad, if they go the other way. As long as they're winning, he's playing well, and Tua's playing well.
I'm saying to you that Kansas City did not trust Tyreek Hill to be around microphones fully himself in front of everyone. They shut it down. We didn't get to know him. He came in there under the cover of scandal. Like he's got shit in his past, and we were going to do the Home and Home podcast thing, and I'm like, sure, let's do that. You come here, I'll go there, and we'll sit down and talk, and we'll welcome you to Miami. And as soon as I said, and I'm going to have to ask you some questions about some of the stuff that happened that you've talked about, that all disappeared. No, thank you. Going to move it on. And what I'm saying to you is, if you give carte blanche at the microphone, be prepared for some of the things that happen, not to be nice and neat for your team that doesn't want distractions in the middle of a week, however it is that is. He's got a podcast to make. He's got a stardom to chase. Like Tyreek Hill wants to get here and improve his brand. He wants to use the Dolphins to help. I'd like to be a star now. I'd like to be someone who comes from Miami, is part of culture. Hey, maybe I made Mahomes. I'd like to be in the commercials with Mahomes.
Right. And Mahomes is always going to be the star in Kansas City and will be for the next 12 years.
I want to see a thing. I got to see a thing.
We got to get there naturally.
We're right there. I don't know what
So
we're
close
waiting
to it.
for.
So close.
You just
Mike's thing has
teasing
to-
me with a thing. I just want it already.
Mike's thing is the first thing.
Yeah.
But you guys made me feel bad about my thing.
Who's the last thing, though? Have
Mike.
you guys seen Billy's thing?
That's
No,
that's
Billy's
for later.
thing,
That's
it's
for
for
later.
later.
Okay.
That's for later.
All right.
It's regarding me, Billy's thing. I need to see it.
No, it's later. Don't worry.
Mike.
You might like it.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. So you think that Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins might struggle early on, Dan? Do you think it's week 1 against the Patriots, or you think that's it?
The Patriots are in disarray. They're totally broken. The Dolphins have to break
So
them over
that's
their
a
knees.
win.
that's a win.
Yeah,
The
that's
Dolphins
a win.
have to go out there and be somebody that beats them 40 to 14.
1-0.
All right, you're,
About that.
There's a fine line between getting to my thing and not getting to my thing, and you're damn near getting to my
We're
thing.
then they go up to Baltimore now.
Yep.
Here's
No,
the thing
I'm
about
not ready
that.
for
Did
that.
you
But
see
Dan,
Lamar?
here's the
Did you
thing.
see Lamar Jackson on Twitter?
Exactly right. That's the thing. So what does Lamar do? Statement game for Lamar. Does he destroy the Dolphins, or does
Might
he
not
make,
play.
Does he make a statement?
Well, what are you doing,
The
Billy?
Ravens.
Because I understand that you're number 6 international insider, the
5.
Dookie.
There was an update.
Number 5, excuse me. I'm sorry. My ranking.
Samson's 9.
Forgive me, but I think you rushed past. You've been waiting forever to do week 1.
Billy, the Duke. Did you
How
see
did
Lamar Jackson?
Samson get it at
I did.
9?
What do you mean?
Did you guys see Lamar Jackson's likes? Did you guys see his likes?
No.
Keep in mind,
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson is representing himself in negotiation, so he's flatly responding to tweets that are alleging he walked away from $260 million. And he's like, nope, that the offer never came. And now he's on Twitter liking photos of him in a Dolphin uniform.
Yes.
Oh.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what
Wow.
I was alluding
Love
to.
that.
Exactly.
No, that's
Greg
not my
alluded to
What does he
thing.
mean by that?
That's
Yeah.
not my
That's
thing.
not even your
No,
thing. Is
I
your
think-
thing bigger than
I think I
that?
would- yeah, my thing is bigger than this.
His thing's real. This is
Right.
Lamar Jackson
Oh,
just
yeah.
using
Yeah.
the Dolphins for leverage.
My thing
Yes.
is tangible.
Kind of showing his number, too, right? It's 250. Like, he's saying they didn't offer me 250.
Right.
Otherwise, I take 250.
Right.
Is the way I read
He
that.
wants more than Watson. That's
that, that thing is not even a real thing. You can touch, you can feel my thing.
Are we ready for it? Are you ready to show it?
Yeah, okay.
It's again underwhelming. We all understand. You're a reluctant hero. Look, it's cold and it's all shriveled up, and now it pales in comparison to the things you've seen.
Well, I'm gonna try to tighten it up a little bit, make it presentable.
Okay, but you're not. For the record, the enthusiasm has leaked out of you. You're not presenting it as some big thing. You're just like, okay, if I must show it because that's the best content play, I will show it. But it's pathetic.
I will personally guarantee the audience this. Miami Dolphins are making the playoffs.
Ow!
Wow.
It is a personal guarantee with
Guarantee.
Okay.
with no consequences attached if I'm wrong.
No, there have to be
No,
consequences.
there don't.
Oh, well,
No,
that's
no.
why it's not a thing. That's why it can't be a big thing.
I tried to dress it up and guaranteed it, but it's just
Yeah, no,
it's
but
not
if-
even that impressive of a thing.
But Mike,
Right.
if
I
there were-
personally
You
feel
thought it was.
the Dolphins are making the playoffs.
like if there had been consequences to that.
Stop trying to get me to shake my
listen,
head again.
I'm not. No.
Now you're doing a thing.
You're not-
You're doing a
I don't
thing.
like your
Yeah.
thing. I don't
No. No. Your thing ends poorly for others.
No means no.
What do you think, Dan?
That's why-
Dolphins playoffs? What are you thinking
No, what
there?
I'm
why my
saying, I'm
armpits are
objecting
sweating.
to you going already to game 2 when
Big one.
No.
After
Yeah,
that tweet
it's
of
at
liking
Baltimore.
all
I
that.
can't. We
Right.
can't be. We can't
1
already
o'clock.
be at look ahead
Under
game
Armour.
just because I said game 1 was 40-14 Dolphins. We can't be at look ahead game I'm not going to do the calendar with you guys right now.
Why?
They play Buffalo after that.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean,
tough
and
game.
then
the Bengals.
Yeah, first 4 games are brutal.
Oh, Jesus.
First 4 games are brutal.
Nah, one is a bunny.
The,
One's
fir-
a,
the,
one's
the
a
first
gimme
game is not brutal anymore.
Yeah, gimme.
You look at the Patriots ahead of the season and go, oh, that's part of a tough schedule.
It
It's
is a
not.
W.
It's
a
not.
W.
It's not
It
when
better be.
every day at training camp, it's a new calamity for the New England
Well,
Patriots,
this is-
coordinated by Matt Patricia.
But
By the way, have you ever seen Bill Belichick as excited as he was seeing Chris Berman yesterday just interrupt? And also
Boomer.
Chris Berman, the gall, just to kind of walk in as Coach Belichick's talking and just walk right in front of the camp. Very look at me, Louie, of Boomer. We can agree with that, right?
Yeah, but very few could do that, and I feel like Boomer's one of them.
Just
you know?
walked straight
Yeah.
ahead, right
Just
in front of the
waltzed right in.
camera,
Yeah.
interrupted the coach.
Yeah.
A ruling been made, so that's good. That is look at me, Louie. Then was Dana White going to see Bill Belichick in the locker room? Was that also qualify? It qualifies. Okay, so the song is the verdict. Then anytime it plays, you've declared it a look at me, Louie situation. I'm not going through the calendar with you. I'm not going to do that right
Why?
now.
It's a schedule, yeah. Big
Yeah.
time.
You not a calendar.
You will do that
Yeah.
on God Bless Football, and something we have not
We will.
gotten to, Stugotz, because this is, I don't know why we wouldn't be running around here celebrating this. I read in Hawaii while I was on vacation,
The Big Island.
Wow, drop a name.
Heat didn't aggressively pursue Durant. Shams tells Stupidity.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Decided
at
to
that?
work for like 1
Why
hour
are you
during
la-
vacation, and yeah.
Why are you laughing at that? Why did Greg Cote?
I don't know.
That is what just happened. Greg Cote, for those who do not know, Stugotz broke news that echoed from here to Hawaii.
We have exclusive audio courtesy of Stupidity. Here's Shams.
Were the Heat even close?
The last time Stugotz, the Heat called the Nets was right around Summer League, or maybe even before that, which is, I mean, a month and a half ago,
Right.
over a month. So no, I mean, they never really aggressively pursued a deal, because I think at the end of the day, they knew they would have had to gut multiple players.
Right. I mean, look, that's a thing. That's a big thing. It's
Thank
not
you.
as big as this thing, but
Right.
it is a thing.
But why'd you laugh the way you laughed? I mean,
the only
it's
reason
insulting.
I'm sorry.
No, this is
I mean,
what
I
happens.
promote your podcast all the
Stugotz,
time. I don't
Stugotz,
laugh at your podcast.
Stugotz, this is what happens, Stugotz. Greg Cote thinks he's more of a journalist than you. He is jealous because your podcast broke a thing, and Greg Cote's podcast, The Greg Cote Show, featuring Greg Cote.
Here we go. Oh boy. With Greg Cote, by the way, not
Yeah.
featuring. With
Fine.
Has not broken a story, but this week has former Miami Herald writer Jim Martz as a guest.
Marty.
Jim Martz is the man who hired me. And so the podcast is billed as Meet the Man Who Invented Greg Cote.
Was it really him or was it McKay again?
Don't worry. I asked him at the end of the interview. At the end of the interview, I was like, wait, are you Adam McKay?
Right. And he went, who? No, the only, and thank you for that Greg Cote Show plug. Really, really proud of this week's episode. Check it out. The only reason I laughed is that I didn't think that was big news right now. I thought it was pretty self-evident that the Dolphins were never going to give up Bam.
The Heat.
The Heat were never going to give up Bam Adebayo. And that was a deal breaker. You know, I mean, is anybody still expecting a run at Durant? I'm not.
It was, he's not only did he laugh at your news.
I know what he's
now
doing.
he says
Yeah.
it's nothing news, and then his podcast featuring Jim Martz
Right.
today is what you need to listen to if you want the real what's what
Yes,
of
right.
news and sports.
Yes.
I got to tell you, I'm there for Greg Cody's podcast. I
Yeah.
want to hear more.
Well,
Thank
but
you.
he did
I
laugh.
mean, the man
but
who invented Greg.
He
I
did
mean,
laugh.
Nate
No,
Greg.
but you're there, but he
Yeah.
insulted you. He laughed at your journalism.
I did not
He
laugh.
did.
I
Yes.
You broke a story on
Yeah,
Stupidity.
I did.
You broke
Yeah.
a story.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Greg Cote has not broken a story.
No.
And Greg Cote is laughing at the idea of you're a newsbreaker. That's what just
Okay.
happened.
All
You
right.
laughed in his face.
Okay, so that's news right now. That's what you're saying.
Well, I think it's news that the Heat stopped pursuing Durant so long ago. That was news.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
would say
mean,
it is news, but I would offer a bit of context here because I think this is what happened. And I'm pretty sure that this is what happened. These things don't happen on our timelines. Whatever, like Durant's running around with this business agent of his, Rich Kleinman, who's making a lot of deals for him and doing for the brand, whatever it is Durant is doing for his brand. His brand is not very good now. You got Whittingham, because Barkley calls him Mr. Miserable. Barkley's still making money off his brand, is looking at Durant. Okay, you're letting this guy run your career. This was put in the works a long time ago, and what Miami probably knew before all this stuff came out is they could have executed this with Bam and stopped talking in July or whenever it was, because this had already played out with them behind the scenes, because all you got to do is call Durant's guy over here and be like, it becomes tampering and everything else. You're not supposed to do that, but does it look to you like Kyrie Irving and Durant are playing by any rules right now? So if he wants to go to Miami, this stuff was already put in play, and Miami probably knew they were out a good while ago if they didn't give up Bam. And so we just found out later than everybody else. That's what I think happened.
Now, Sham said the deal didn't come together because Miami didn't want to gut their players. Do you think if you asked Pat Riley to actually gut one of his players in order to get Kevin Durant, that he would do it?
That's a great question. Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. Would Pat Riley actually gut his roster?
But would he gut too?
Gut.
I think he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to gut 2 to get Durant.
Who's he most likely to gut?
Yeah.
Looking at the roster.
Well, he didn't want to gut Hero. I mean,
Right. I think he would gut Kyle Lowry in a heartbeat.
Really?
Yeah.
Wouldn't
Extra
a
word.
lot of guts.
Wasn't that
Not enough.
wasn't that,
Depending on how you look at it.
Can't go over there and no guts.
man, that's amazing. What analysis of Kyle Lowry. No guts, too much gut. That is not the
Credit to him.
analysis.
He's putting in work this offseason.
But really, if you would say the trade really was, we can talk about machinations and third teams and everything else, but the trade really ends up being, would you be willing to give up Hero, Bam, and more? Everything for Durant. Like, it's got the roster. It's not, and maybe this guy, and you just keep a piece and you get a Kyle Lowry. No. Is it everything for Durant or not? Because he's going to
do that, wouldn't you?
Well, but he didn't.
But I'm asking you, would you do it? I'm surprised Riley didn't do it. He had a chance to have Kevin Durant and Jimmy Butler.
It feels like the NBA just said in one strong voice, we are not going to establish this trade precedent and give you more than what Rudy Gobert got when Rudy Gobert didn't want to leave Utah. You have a disgruntled superstar, and we are not going to set this new high water mark.
Aging disgruntled superstar.
I also think that Kevin Durant, in having it out there, I want to go to Boston, but I want to play with Marcus Smart. I want to go to Miami, but I want to play with Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. I want to go here, but I want to play with this player.
Making it very hard.
He's trying
Ridiculous.
to make it enough of a mess so that the trading team has some form of leverage to where they can offer the poo-poo platter offer that gets offered on sports radio all the time, so that Kevin Durant can join a very good team. But the Brooklyn Nets obviously want an amazing haul of picks and players for Durant.
Whittingham, what I'm telling you though, and this is it really is speculation from me. It is just watching Pat Riley work for many years. If I had to guess what happened here, because I don't know if what I'm speculating to you is so or not. People think these kinds of deals are all layered, and you've just seen in Durant, hey, AAU business has come to sports. You can do it LeBron's way, or you might do it a messier way, where the way that Durant's doing it. And this is months ago, somebody saying to Durant's camp, hey, it can't be pried out this way. The next step is do what adorable Goran Dragic did and no one saw coming in Phoenix. Go make a public mess and get out of there. Like, all of that was instigated before we saw it. We saw it, my guess, just watching Riley work over the years. We saw it because Durant was told, hey, go make a mess. Go make the biggest mess if you want to get out of there. And then they realized they couldn't pull him out, and now Durant goes back there for what Jay Williams is saying, the most pressurized season in the history of sports. That's what Jay Williams is calling it.
Brooklyn?
That's what he's saying.
No one's a Brooklyn fan. There's no consequences. Were there any this year?
He says the greatest pressure of any team, not just in basketball, in ever.
Shut up.
Ever.
Out of here.
Wow.
That's funny. Yeah.
I'd argue it's not the most pressurized season of Kevin Durant's career.
Dude, a
Like
tree fell in-
the first
year
year
Golden
Golden
State,
State,
yes.
like, if that didn't work, then holy shit.
Right.
not a word really last year. I mean, get out of here. more pressurized than the Heat of a couple of years ago. Out of here. It's
Well,
Brooklyn
LeBron's
Nets.
first year.
They
You're
don't even
saying.
have a
Right.
fan base.
Yes.
This is the furthest we've been from Stugotz and Greg's thing.
Yeah.
It's true. We're
You
very
could probably
away.
still feel it, but
No, I mean Sue's thing is so big that you could probably feel it all the way over there.
yeah.
Dion Sims would like a word.
Do you feel as whack as it feels? Like, do you feel sad as you're saying some of these names?
Yes.
the Dolphins.
Farrell Edmonds
There
would
you
like
go.
a
That's
word.
a
There
good
you
one.
go.
Farrell Edmonds, the originator of the seam, running down the seam. He's a big dude. How can anybody ever cover him?
The Jordan Cameron Reclamation Project would like a word.
God, I need to go watch ESPN Classic tape of Farrell Edmonds to see how slow that looks compared to what Gesicki is now.
He was good though.
I
Farrell.
agree.
He was good.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But so was Bruce Hardy and Joe Rose and all these guys who weren't the Frankensteins of today.
Yeah,
When they're
and-
like 6'9" machines running down the field.
And Jim Mandich. All right, Miami.
Mad
He
dog.
can have all the words he wants.
Billy, how do we get closer to the Giant thing?
Well, we're kind of getting back in that direction, I'd say.
All right, so the Dolphin season of excitement, the Dolphin season. Am I close?
Why don't we
Yeah.
do this? Why don't we just do weeks 2 and 3 on
Yeah.
the schedule, and then see if that gets us closer to
That's
the
not
thing.
gonna come on.
At
Billy.
the Ravens.
No, Billy, you're just trying to
WL.
be that. No,
They're 1-0.
All right, tell us
I
what's
mean,
gonna happen, Billy, and then get to the thing, man. Like enough with the foreplay.
What's going to happen?
Yeah, just go ahead. Game 2,
Well,
3,
he
and
asked
4.
you.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
asking you. It's
I
your
don't-
prediction.
I
Yeah,
don't
Mike
care.
already has them making the play. You don't care. Whoa.
Guaranteed it.
Mike guaranteed they're going to be in the playoffs. Stugotz and Greg's thing is, a cousin
But
of
I've
this
got
game.
you. But I've got the place that you will find me right now as we talk about whether or not before the end of the local hour we will see this Giant thing. Is I have already given you 40-14 Dolphins week 1. I never do that.
Wow.
Yes, you know.
Score.
You've
That's
skipped
down.
past
That's the
this because
score.
you're playing a game and I'm serious. I'm the one who gets the consequences of these stupidities when I make the predictions.
Who cares?
Stupidities.
I mean, come on. A couple of people on Twitter. Who cares?
Consequences.
Dan had the Dolphins over the Patriots 40-14 in week 1. Said it a month ago. Tell them to go bleep themselves. Wow. Seriously.
Yeah.
Stupidity with newsbreakers, Stugotz.
Yeah. I love a
He's
poo-poo
laughing-
platter.
He's laughing at you again.
No, I'm not.
Stugotz, he's
I am
laughing.
not.
What do you can't say you're
I'm not laughing. I'm laughing in general. I'm a happy person. Man, am I happy. Life is good.
Think you're happy.
Fantastic.
You think you're happy now?
Yeah.
Until Sue shows you his thing.
Oh, I know his thing. We're Cote. It's a Cote thing.
Yeah.
all right. We're
It's
gonna
our thing.
now.
That's right. It's our thing. Do what you want to do. I can't tell you who to sock it to.
Who sings that?
The Isley Brothers, right?
Yeah, I think so.
How do you know that?
It's your thing.
I grew up listening to the music, Stugotz.
Do
That's how I
what you
know.
want to do.
Stugotz is confusing Isley Brothers with
Howard Isley,
with
point
Roy-
guard for the Jazz. Solid player.
Yeah, nice little player.
Yeah, nice. You're right. He is. Nice little
depth.
player. Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome. Love that song.
Do you realize how old you've been skewing on our show recently?
Not a gray hair in his
No.
head, though.
No.
Looks great. I didn't want to say anything.
What can I tell you?
He looks very young. He does. He looks and his.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do week 1? Do you want to? So what is your homer
You already
pick?
did it. I
Homer
mean,
we're on
pick
week 2 now,
for the
yeah.
Miami Dolphins. No, I did it, but Greg
Okay.
Cody's not. I'm calling him a homer, and I just said Dolphins easy, 40-14,
Yeah.
week 1,
Uh,
as if I've done that one time in the last 20 years.
I'm not disagreeing. Obviously, my picks don't come out till next week. They're online every Thursday and in print Friday.
Yeah.
But I don't see Miami losing the opener at home to
Right.
New England. I don't, and I'm very impressed with the Dolphins. I did not think the way they handled Philadelphia in the last preseason game was a fluke at all. I think they're going to be really good, and I feel like I can't say any more because it's thing related.
No, well then we're here. Then we got here. No, you can say now we're here. Naturally, we're here.
Okay, Stugotz, I would like you to have the honor to reveal the thing.
You want me to show Dan our thing?
I would like you to.
All right.
Yep.
Let me show you our thing, Dan.
It's official because it's on a sheet of paper.
I'm just going to hold it up, Dan. You can tell the audience all about our thing, okay?
Oh, Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
You're welcome.
It's a big thing.
First time since 73.
Yeah, we were talking off air, and you said the phrase "dumbass Lobos" as we were talking about fantasy football off air.
Say, man.
And you said it with real derision in your voice.
Insulting.
And you might have even been offering to pawn it off to another project. Yeah, go take your dumbass Lobos somewhere else. But you know what? It's time for Billy's thing.
Dan, guess what? I have a thing.
Does Greg Cote know the thing?
Greg Cote does. Well, Greg Cote doesn't know this is the thing, but I did have a conversation with Greg Cote off air in the break.
Okay, but wait. Before you give away your thing, because I don't know what your thing is, are you alleging that your thing is as big as who's predicting the Dolphins will win the Super Bowl? Stugotz or Cote or both of you?
That is a combo between me and Greg. I have seen Billy's thing. I think Billy's thing might be bigger than our thing.
But you guys are agreeing that it has been agreed. Billy, you've been trying to get me to do week 1 of the NFL season, Patriots Dolphins, and here, look, not surprisingly, Stugotz and Bill and Cote, first day, first hour before football's ever started, Dolphins have to do the maximum thing.
Yeah.
The Dolphins have to win the Super Bowl. Everything else is a failure. And we are maximum here sports radio, and your thing is bigger than that thing?
Some are alleging that my thing is bigger than that thing. Mm-hmm. And you did do week 1. You said we were trying to do 40 to 14.
And they swamped me by doing. They just did the whole
Yeah.
season. They rendered I did do week 1, but look at how much bigger and better they did it. At the end, they win. They always win. Dolphins win the Super Bowl.
Well, speaking of the whole season, we have a very important announcement, Dan. A series of announcements, but today is just one portion of the announcement. Dan, football season's right around the corner. Sponsors are chomping at the bits to get in on the action. Champing at the bits.
I think
it's chomping.
It's
chomping.
chomping
at
at
the bit.
It's a singular bit.
Good correction, Roy.
Chomping.
No, we have multiple.
Roy, what
no,
happened?
guys.
Roy,
I think
what
it might be
happened?
champing.
Is it champing?
I think it's champing.
It's chomping
Bad
at the
correction by
bits.
Dan on Roy. Roy, good job.
I'd just like to say this as well. You say it's bit, but we have multiple bits that can be champed or chomped at. So just sponsors beware.
No.
One of which was chomped. And guys, not the MMA hangout. That's not a thing.
A horse champs at the bit. I'm just saying.
That actually was champed.
All right,
Thank you.
gang. For the football season, a sponsor has picked up Greg's Lobos update.
You gotta be shitting me.
Can't run, Dan.
Coach and president of football operations, Greg
Man,
Cote.
how about that?
We've sold out. We have totally sold out.
Wow.
This is a new sponsored segment that we're doing right now.
And Dan, it is presented by Visible. Switch today at visible.com.
Okay, so
I love
wait.
Visible.
All right.
What's my cut?
Was anyone going to tell me that a business deal has been
Seriously.
made? Okay, of
Was
course.
anybody going to tell me I am Greg Lobos?
Yep. What is your cut?
All right.
I mean,
Fair
Oh, my
enough.
God.
All fair as we figure out the business of Meadowlark Media and we figure out who gets that money. When
Was anybody going to tell you? This is us telling you.
I
We're
know,
telling you
you're-
right now.
You're telling me we're on air right now, and you're informing me
And me.
that we have entered and you
Yep.
that we have entered into a monetized sponsorship deal in order
Someone
to
has.
do what with the Lobos when I have not agreed to do I have fought Greg Cote my entire life on his ability to do never mind sponsored segments, fantasy segments about his dumbass Lobos.
Oh, Visible says it's happening, Dan.
Exactly.
So.
Damn right.
Yep.
Which today?
We
Yeah.
presented them a menu with all kinds of football-related segments to sponsor.
They chose the Lobos?
They chose the Lobos.
Wow.
Of course they did. They're a smart company. Visible. They're
Okay,
fantastic.
So, all right. Oh, they're fantastic.
What do
All
they
right.
do?
So sellouts abound. Yeah, instead of telling us it's fantastic, what do they do, Greg, sponsor of your podcast?
Visible?
You're just learning
A
You're-
lot of stuff.
You just
A lot of stuff.
for my podcast. I mean.
A lot of stuff. A lot.
No, they're
What do they do? Wait, Visible, boy, you got a spokesman, Visible,
No.
for Greg's Lobos.
I'm
what
kidding.
do they do?
it's a Verizon thing. It's great.
Of course.
They're the
That's
best.
right. So
Yeah.
what's going on with the Lobos?
No, this is not how we're going to do
Oh,
business
come
on
on,
the air.
man. Don't ruin this now.
Is it chomping at the bit or champing at the bit?
Champing at the bit.
It's
But it's
chomping.
big,
Tried
so
to
you have
tell
a
you.
lot. Yeah.
It should be chomping.
That's
no,
right.
it should be champing. Horses
But what
champ
does
at the bit.
What does
me
that
an
mean?
apology.
What does a champ do?
What does a chomp do? I mean, what's
Well,
any
chomp,
word
like
mean?
you would think like you're kind of biting down, like you're sort
On
of
the
like you're
bit,
getting
right.
in on the bit.
Yeah.
But like champing, I don't even know what champ is. To champ.
Wow, Whitney didn't even know this.
No, I didn't. I thought it was chomping.
Brady's
All
a
right,
champ.
That's right.
Owe me an apology.
I loved Stugotz, Brady. I really did. It was one of the greatest quotes I've ever seen. Did you see what Brady said about his 11-day absence, how he described it?
I did, but it's Lobo update time brought to you by Visible.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
We will get back to that. I
Get
assure
our priorities straight here.
I assure you that you guys didn't tell me this segment was happening, and we will figure out how to do it on air. Thank you to satisfy the sponsor and inevitably do a fantasy update I don't want to actually do.
Greg's
Because I-
Lobos.
I don't want to hear about Greg's Lobos.
Well, Greg's
I
Lobos.
want to talk about Tom Brady saying,
Why? Why would you?
Exactly. I mean, listen, it's your company. You have a
Right.
sponsor. You're spending money with your company. I would
Seriously.
please the sponsor.
Right
I mean,
now,
Business 101.
I wish Dan was invisible. Is what I
I'm
wish.
trying not to sell out. I'm trying to do the show that we would do where Tom Brady, that's interesting, that his quote would
I've
be.
sold out years ago. Dan.
I'm aware of that, Stugotz. No one more than me.
What was his quote? That
Trust
he's a big
me.
Lobos
No
fan.
one
Brady's
more
a big
than me.
Lobos
You're
fan.
informing no one of news with this information.
Just reminding you.
Yes, I would, and I've desperately tried not to.
Wait, Dad, is
you
Tom
don't
Brady
care. I know.
is Tom Brady a Lobos fan, Dad?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Right.
Yeah, I understand he is.
Tom Brady,
His son is as well.
said, "I'm 45. A lot of shit happens."
Got a lot of shit going on,
I got a
man.
lot of shit going. I understand that.
It's relatable.
I really do.
He's right.
Right.
The most relatable thing
I
he's
mean,
ever said.
yeah.
I don't even understand the quote, and it's the most honest thing he's ever said. Yeah, man. I've been living a long time, and things pile up. I know you all think it's great to be Tom Brady, but every once in a while, I got to go somewhere for 11 days because someone else wants me to shoot an underwear commercial.
Tom Brady used to like throw on vacation in Cabo. It was like a fundamental requirement of his being that in order to be a great quarterback, he must throw the year round. And now, 3 weeks before the season, I'm old. A lot of shit going on. Sorry.
It's so great.
But you get it. Like, that to-do list has to be so long.
Him longer than everyone else's, right?
He's a
Yes.
professional football player. Like, it's his job.
Nah.
No, and your wife wants you home, and she's a supermodel too. Her life is big as yours.
And the Masked Singer is calling, and just the
Yeah.
whole thing.
And
Plus his broadcast
you
career.
just
You hear
gave
about
away
that?
our life. It's like this. It really is. It's Giselle. You just gave away our life for $375 million in a Fox job that I don't know is going to have you wear golfing that you don't want to actually be golfing. And my kid and our kid needs to be raised because we got a lot of shit going on.
He just got his life back.
I love analyzing Tom Brady from there to be old enough to he's family shit.
Got stuff.
It's just everywhere. and go make them champions, champ.
He's 45.
Yeah.
It's lunacy.
Trying to play professional football. I feel like that requires every bit of your energy and focus.
How could he be ranked number 1 on Madden?
Did you see the year he had last year?
He's also number 1 in the NFL's top 100, NFL Network.
Yes, and he
No
should
way.
Maybe
be.
that's what I
Yeah.
saw.
No way.
I mean, it's voted on by players. They're just giving him the
Yes.
respect that he's
course.
earned.
He's not
Yeah.
the best player in the
Aaron
league.
Donald is number 2. They're saying he's better than Aaron Donald.
Wow.
Well, he is.
I mean, all time, but
Currently,
it's supposed to
at
be
this moment in time?
But the NFL Network rankings are
he's
supposed
a
to be
better
for
quarterback
this
for
year.
sure.
It's supposed to be based off last year. What's the rankings?
I mean, did you see the season he had last year? I know Aaron Donald had a good season.
And
won
Aaron
the Super
Rodgers
Bowl.
was MVP.
Yeah, Super
I
Bowl.
know, but Brady led the league in yardage and touchdowns and
Not getting it done.
Not getting it done.
QBR. Yeah, that's
Failed
true.
to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Not his fault,
What's
though.
he done lately?
What is this Lobo segment, Greg? You don't
Safety
know.
dropped the ball. Remember?
We're working on it because this is new information to me. I am so glad to be aligned with Visible. And so much is going, Greg's Lobos are the reigning champion in PFPI Fantasy. When
Wow.
you win a championship, all kind of opportunities come to you.
A lot of shit going on.
Lobos World Headquarters has increased. We're now like a Taj Mahal. We have a slide going from the second floor to
Hard
the first,
Knocks following
like
them.
at Clemson.
Hard Knocks following Greg's Lobos for a
Another
second season.
Yeah, Hard
Wow.
Knocks is following us.
We're going to create our own Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
The Greg Cote show did it last year,
Right.
yeah.
We did get a cease and desist letter from HBO on that, but we got our
we didn't.
attorneys working on it.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. We have a combine. The Lobos have a combine.
Wow, how's
scheduled.
that going?
Well, we're inviting a lot
Brady,
of
yeah.
we're inviting
Donald.
everyone that's on our radar to draft to our Lobos combine.
Yeah.
In South Florida at an undetermined location.
That's got to be coming up real soon.
Is that your house?
It's coming up real soon. It's in a few
World
days.
headquarters,
You
yeah.
know,
It's Sunday at your house.
so far response has been a little light from players willing to fly down here on their dime to try out for our eyes, but still we're hoping for a big turnout. We've been with the patent office. Our alternate name is now officially Greg's original Lobos, so our acronym can be Go Lobos. So that's something that's been developed by our team.
That's
in
big.
in just the past few weeks. So, a lot is happening. Obviously, we're not going to reveal any secrets on our draft strategy. That's to come, but we couldn't be happier. We want to go back-to-back Jack in PFPI Fantasy with a second straight championship. Go Lobos.
Chris, are you sort of mortified that your dad, how interesting your dad finds all
Himself.
of that? And how interesting he thinks the audience finds his...
Check out the Greg Cote show this week. Jim Martz.
Greg's
The real one. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
that's right.
No, Greg was scared here. Let's do this now. Greg was scared when he came in here that I was going to make fun of his podcast, The Greg Cote Show, featuring Greg Cote.
With Greg Cote.
Because today on the show is Jim Martz, his mentor. Jim Martz. No one wants to hear from Jim Martz.
It would have been more relevant if it was Mike. If it was Mike Martz's brother, it would have been more of a more relevant interview.
In the world wants
Maybe it is.
No
I
one in
mean-
the world wants to hear from Jim Martz.
That's not true.
But Greg Cote thinks what the audience craves, and you will prove it to him now by making Jim Martz trend. You will prove it.
And maybe it's Adam McKay.
Please.
Maybe.
He interviews his mentor, Jim Martz, who he identifies as, salutes as the maker of Greg Cote.
The inventor of Greg Cote.
Which is quite the visual.
Yeah, he's the public. I would not exist in the public eye if not for Jim Martz.
Neither would the Lobos.
Exactly.
Yep.
Thank you.
Back to back, Jack.
Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack. Back to back, Jack.
Sounds like my Friday night.
Go Lobos. We are the Lobos.
Brought to you by.
Visible.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can you guys update me here, please? Because we are getting a barrage of this from whatever it is that happened yesterday. I've told you before that Amin and Zach and Anthony Mays, they have bad judgment. Check it out at Cinephobe. They drag Amin down, those guys, and he gets dragged down with them, and he doesn't mind. And Amin could be a glorious, wonderful talent that soars across the sky, brilliant and fun. But he's best drunk Amin over there, and you guys like him.
Let's not pretend that sometimes Amin is ringleading the bad judgment. He can very often be in charge of the bad judgment.
He's dragging them down. Is that what you're saying?
That's right.
He's dualities, Amin El-Hassan. He comes here, he's a duality of man. He comes here, demonstrates very good judgment, and then sometimes cinephobe, basketball courts during the NBA Finals with Kevin O'Connor demonstrates bad judgment.
Right.
Let's be honest about this, okay? Amin is a mess, and those guys don't help him. Amin is a shining star in this industry. His information is so good. His knowledge is so exceptional. And because he wants to do Cinephobe.
A mess El-Hassan.
That was
He was
good.
robbed. I mean,
It was bad. It was bad. Bad, Greg.
I'm getting a lot of
A
this
mess
today,
El-Hassan.
and so you guys will have to tell me what the hell happened, because just simply, wow, terrible shit today. Let me know when Stugotz gets back.
back.
When Dan gets back, he should send every single one of you to the ocean. What happened?
Well, Dan, yesterday's show got off to an inauspicious start, shall we say?
What's that mean?
Well,
Well, Zach saw 2 Aubrey Plaza movies.
yeah. So what happened is we did the thing that happens very often around here, where we started, but no one said that we're starting. That's why I brought a slate in here one day. I gotta get my slate back.
Yeah.
Need it. It's a very important part, so we can signal to.
It's a false start.
Right. Exactly. 5-yard penalty.
Yeah. Exactly.
And so.
But there's a general lack of order here, and I find it suspicious that anyone here with any judgment, never mind those guys, would think it a good idea to try to do our show with both of them on Zoom. Like just from the start, a truly dreadful idea. So start there.
Well, it was a backup plan, shall we say? So we had. So Amin and Zach, so they do a false start. So I come on the mic, all right, guys, we ready to go? And it's like, what if we just recreated everything we just did? And so they did. And then we did it a third time. And then
Well, what happened the second time?
Well, the second time it was kind of like
Zach saw 2 Aubrey Plaza movies.
right. And Amin was wearing a Hall & Oates shirt.
Not ironically.
One was in the theater and one was back at home.
Oh,
Who's
okay.
Aubrey Plaza?
Billy Gill
What?
is a lot like Aubrey Plaza.
Allison
I've
said
noticed.
that once.
Allison did used to say that.
I don't know what's
That's
going
it.
on.
Is that a
That's
man
the
or a
thing.
woman?
We
So
just did.
we literally just
what
did
Whitty
the
and I
entirety
just
of
did.
yesterday's show.
We
Compliment.
did like 42 times yesterday. Because we wanted to, the first time we were like, let's restart, do it again, let's recreate the conversation. And then we did it that second time. We were like, oh, that was funny.
All right, let's
And then,
let's
like,
do that on the air now.
Then we did
And
10
then
minutes
did
of
it a third
show.
time.
We did 10 minutes of show, and then we did it again.
What were the
Yeah.
good judgment examples, Dan, that you had of Amin?
Oh, no. Have you heard him on Metal Larkers?
No.
We don't listen to the other podcast, so I do.
What?
What is Metalarkers?
I'm 45 years old, man. Got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
What about him? Tell us.
Amin is super smart. You guys see
Oh.
it. Yeah, man, nobody else is fit into our group the way he does. Like, he is super smart, but he's got bad judgment. And those guys bring it out, and you can find it. Cinepho, check it out. That's how they do it. We funded it. Pirates are going to be pirates.
Or yesterday's show, hours 1, 2, and postgame show. We hope you enjoyed it on the Dan LeBatard show with Stugotz.
Amin said it was fine art, of art. Like, he said it was fine art, whatever. That's him, jazz
Art.
hands. Maximum
Right.
Steve Martin.
That's the excuse you go to when you know something's bad, but you want to portray it as good. But anyway, I was told that Amin, Zach Harper, Beetle, everyone, the whole crew, shipping container, I heard they did a fantastic job overall. And I, for one, am very thankful because it allows me more vacation time. So thank you to Amin, Beads, the shipping container, and whoever else filled in. Zach Harper.
David Sampson.
Samson filled in? Nah.
Wow.
Didn't hear great things about him.
Wow.
Sorry, I couldn't go back.
What?
That's a fine. That's a fine. That's a fine.
Whose Siri is going off? There's a Siri.
Not me. Not
What
me.
happened there?
It ain't me, babe.
Wasn't me.
Dan?
Yes, it was me.
Oh, wow. It's $25.
$25.
25 buckaroos.
With interest.
Yep,
Why isn't it just $5?
yeah.
That's 25.
Interest.
That was pre-vacation.
Yeah.
Yep. Times have changed.
Whole new world.
Speaking of which, I understand you have it back in my day, which stunned me.
It's Tuesday.
That's right.
Of course I do.
Kidding? Every Tuesday.
Of course. My bad. So let's go ahead. How do you feel about today's back in my day?
It's right out the oven. It's right out the oven. It's an experience I had in the past few days. So it's fresh. It's new. I haven't done it before, which is always a good start to a back in my day.
So it stirred something in you. You were
Yes.
you when you write. Greg Cote is an exceptional writer. For as much as he plays the fool around here, because largely he is the fool. When something moves him, he writes really well. And
Moving
God,
it.
he doesn't visit that place very often.
That's true.
He's just grinding out dolphin columns
Yeah.
that he doesn't care about.
Right. I don't want to, I don't want to give people too much. I want them to always be wanting more.
Right. That's the key.
It is the key.
Yes.
Yeah, lower the bar,
Yep.
and then you look good.
Mm-hmm.
Check out his most recent column, a very emotional tribute to Jason Jenkins of the Miami Dolphins.
Well, let's talk about this for a second, okay? Because before I get into back in my day, and I'm looking forward to hearing it, and I'm grateful that we've arrived at another Tuesday because these are I really like that Greg is allowed to do this nonsense here that honors Andy Rooney that you've been doing for a long time and you're tired of. You don't want to do it anymore because you want to grind out those dolphin columns and do podcasts about your Lobos.
That's right. and have Jim Martz on.
Jimmy Martz. Yeah.
Jim Martz.
What happens, Greg, if someone
my
comes in
mentor.
like Visible and sponsors back in my day, and then you need to do it every week?
You know, that's why I got an agent. That's why I got a lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have either.
You're gonna sue.
I
the
do have a
company?
lawyer. I married her.
We should negotiate deals for you. Stugotz will negotiate them.
I need it.
80-20 his way.
Of course.
Your lawyer does insurance defense.
Still.
Yeah.
Law degree.
Some knowledge of that.
Law's law, exactly.
Law's law.
The old
Law's law.
Constitution,
That's right.
you know?
That's
Vern
right.
Law, former Pirates relief pitcher in
That's
the 60s.
right.
Yeah.
Lawyer Malloy.
Yep.
Thank
Tie
you.
law.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like it. Legal talk.
David Justice.
Nice.
Yeah. Very
Judge
nice.
Reinhold.
Wow.
Judge Reinhold, yes.
Wow.
Or Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I like it.
there you
Yes,
go, yeah.
That's right. Al Magistrate.
Before we get
The
into
great Maggie.
Margaret Court.
the Magic Man.
Yeah.
The Magic Man, Al Magistrate. What a great character. What position does he play? Is he a basketball player? Al
That's
Magistrate.
a good. I think he's on the bench.
Hey! Johnny Bench.
There you go.
Hey!
So,
The warden.
before we get to back in my day, I do want to address, because this was, I don't think I've seen this happen very often. You tell me if you've seen it happen, Greg, because I saw that it made national news over the weekend that Jason Jenkins, vice president for the Dolphins, had passed away. And when that news arrived, I think a lot of us who got to meet Jason felt slapped across the face with something heavy and thudding and final in a way that would just send you sideways on how fragile everything is,
Yeah.
and mortality and everything else. But I didn't think that a vice president of a team, by dying early at 47, I haven't seen, would hit that chord where it became a national story, because this person's touch was unique and warm and sunshiny, and we all could feel, whether we have kids or not, you could feel, well, wait a minute. What do you mean he's gone? I didn't get to say everything.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Never mind goodbye. I didn't get to say everything. I didn't get to let him know, hey, you know, when you were walking around making everybody feel special, being warm, being generally helpful, being, you know, it can be media relations, but it can be cold and processed and business. For this guy to reach that many people who felt moved by what a nice man, what a caring man, what a giving man, what a helpful man, and then hit also with the mortality of, like, no, what do you mean? What do you mean it can be like that before you're 50 years old?
Right.
I've never seen a story covered like a vice president of a team the way I saw this one covered, and I wondered if it was because that chord had been hit by this man's kindness.
I think it was for a couple of reasons. Number one, you know, the media generates the content, and he was beloved by the media. You know, not just admired, but we thought the world of him. And the other reason is that the Dolphins just won the NFL award for best team community relations. He was that guy. He was with the franchise 13 years. The only winning the Dolphins did in the past 13 years was at the community level, where Jason Jenkins was the guy steering all that. All of it. The holiday turkey giveaways, the new equipment to local high school teams, all of that
where
stuff.
a sports team gets embedded in the community. This is complicated, okay? Because the Dolphins, Stephen Ross, we've all seen the messiness of Stephen Ross as he's tried to get Tom Brady and, like, stamps F1 in Miami Gardens, and you've seen what the Dolphins are now. The Dolphins are headed, after being a regional team for 20 years, this thing is headed into expectations and an NFL
Super
season
Bowl.
and
Yeah.
Super Bowl that you guys are saying.
Guaranteed, yeah.
This thing's link to the community it used to be Fudge Brown before him, but the link to the community of a team actually being a part of the community so that Deshaun Watson's not okay. That's what died. Like, you will hear husband and father, but the link between this team and this community in the community, because what I remember about him, like a lot of media people are nice to me. Yeah, they're nice to me. How helpful he was to my brother, because my brother paints this community. How far he went out of his way by leaps and bounds to make sure that my brother had the touch of the Dolphins, who can be a historically arrogant organization that doesn't actually care about this market and has run off a lot of its fan base with we're the Dolphins, we're the NFL. This dude was the link to the community. It gets colder from here. It'll be less because he's gone, because his touch was felt. It was felt in the community.
Yeah, but I think his touch was so profound that they're going to try to replicate it as best they can. I don't think they're going to let everything he built wither. I really don't. I think they're going to make an extraordinary effort to let his legacy live on. I think they're going to, and I'm not being flippant here, but they have to name a building after him. They have to do something, and they have to replace him with somebody who has that same aesthetic, that same work ethic, and that same love of the community. The way this news broke first was hours before the Dolphins finally acknowledged it at halftime Saturday night. The news broke in the community. The way I first heard about it was through somebody with the Broward County YWCA, who he was involved with. The people he touched in the community were the first ones to hear the shocking news, and it was shocking. It's one thing if someone has a terrible disease and you at least have months to get used to the idea of mortality and that you might be saying goodbye. This guy was the epitome of apparent good health. And
life.
Yeah, and all of a sudden he's gone, and it was just a shock.
I know you guys talked about this yesterday, so forgive us for being late to this, but I just did want the audience to know because – the NFL's a beast, man. It's a monster. Like, it's coming this way, and it's taking Christmas from basketball as a sideswipe. And this Dolphin team is going to matter in this community, and they can take it right back from the Heat. I can't believe the Heat took it for 20 years. Yeah. I really can't. But they can take it right back because of what football is. If they've got a flashy team that matters, that scores and everything else, I'm being fined again.
It's $50 now.
I'm rusty from vacation. Yeah. Let's do back in my day.
Jeez.
That's $75 total.
And now it is time to take a trip down memory lane. Here's your guy, Greg Cote, with Back in My Day.
I don't have my wallet.
It's another fine. Yeah. It's 150 now.
In-flight magazines. Slayed the pandemic. Traveling again. Big bird up. But something's different. I look in the seat pocket in front of me, and all I see is that cardboard pamphlet about the plane that nobody reads, the drink menu nobody needs, and the barf bag. Where's my in-flight magazine? Where did it go? Joni was right. Don't it always seem to go? You don't know what you got till it's gone. They paved paradise, put up a parking lot, and then stole my in-flight magazine. These staples of Americana predated even Greg Cote. Pan Am Airways published the first IFM in 1940. Now the high-flying mags are disappearing like donuts in a press box. Southwest Rag, augustly called simply The Magazine, is gone now. Delta Sky, gone. American Way, gone. Retired after 55 years. Alaska and Emirates Airlines, too, gone. Airline magazines falling from the sky one by one. Some others, like United Hemispheres, are now digital only. Blame the pandemic. COVID killed the in-flight magazine, or rather gave airlines an excuse to make a cutback like businesses did with remote meetings where the office buildings used to be. But more than that is to blame. The digital era stampeded the helpless handheld mag. In-flight entertainment and mobile browsing happened. Airlines have even claimed noble reasons for discontinuing their magazines, like how removing all of them makes planes lighter, which saves on fuel. Sounds like malarkey. Hurtling cabins once were full of rattling newspaper pages held wide. Then those disappeared, and then I was the last flyer still leafing through an in-flight magazine while everybody else was softly chuckling at a movie or listening to music with earbuds. I miss every bit of the airline magazine, the greeting from the airline president, the Penn and Teller at the Rio ad, the dating and hair restoration ads, and the one inviting me to invest in a home care franchise, things to do in Minneapolis, the list of top 10 steakhouses and America's best plastic surgeons, the crossword puzzle inevitably half-finished and poorly by a previous seat occupant. Oh, and the feature story on Southwest Customer Service Agent of the Month. You can't get that anywhere else. Most of all, I miss, anybody else remember Sky Mall? Oh, yes. My gosh. It was Amazon before Amazon, only at 30,000 feet. Talk about built-in marketing. Bored flyers stuck in a cabin for 3 hours slamming cocktails are liable to buy anything, which Sky Mall offered. I'll never forget the time, after 3 or 4 deep eddies, I accidentally bought a life-size Bigfoot garden gnome for $2,250. Airlines, I will gladly pay extra if the bag I check is a pound too heavy. I'll put up with your cancellations, and with a hot meal being replaced by a 1-ounce bag of pretzels. Just please, give me back my in-flight magazine. See, I never played that Sudoku puzzle, but I sure did like knowing it was there. I'm Greg Cote, and that's how it was back in my day.
I am grateful for that because I was thinking to myself, I don't know what deep eddies are, first of all. Deep eddies are those drinks?
Yeah.
What are they?
It's a vodka.
What are they? Vodka?
Yeah.
It's just a brand of vodka?
It's a brand of vodka. I just like the phrase Deep Eddy.
Wouldn't it be great if Deep Eddy sponsored back in my day?
Well, we already have a sponsor, don't we?
That's for the Lobos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Visible.
Right.
Who could forget?
The good folks at Visible. They got me covered.
What do they do?
They're in cahoots with Verizon.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
A lot of things.
A lot of things. They're all over. They're all over the map. They got a lot going on.
I'm glad you brought this up
You
because
have them robbing a bank. I mean,
I thought to myself just yesterday, this was a thought that I had just yesterday. It wasn't about in-flight magazines, but it was about the idea that back before you could just smoke cigarettes in that flying tube in the sky, there was a time in this country where flight was like the happiest people at the height of opulence cutting a prime rib at the front of a plane. What that has now become, which is a bag of pretzels and we'll take $25 for your Wi-Fi, is appalling. Like, wait a minute, I haven't paid you enough for this flight to burn fossil fuel across the country, make sure that Pakistan falls into the sea with my fossil fuel. I also need to pay you $25 for the Wi-Fi because you keep raising the price. Holy shit, has anything got worse than airline travel in this country in the last 65 years? And that's covering some ground because I'm going back to 65. There was racism.
oh boy, Dan's back.
Wow.
People used to show up for flights like wearing a suit. It was like a big
It was a
occasion.
big deal.
And a hat.
It was a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah.
And a fedora.
And you sat down, you had your steak.
Couple
and
of
now-
deep eddies.
Now it's
Yeah.
just feet.
Yeah.
Airplanes are just feet. Everyone takes their shoes off.
Oh, I hate
Everyone's
that.
got their
Yeah.
animals
It is.
with them.
It is.
Yeah,
It's
animals,
just
yeah.
feet.
We should put that on the grid of death. Your next flight, you have to get in a full suit.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I'll happily choose that.
Yeah. Dressed like Connie
You're
Mack.
the only one. You are the only
Really?
one. I think
I
you're the only
disagree.
one in our crew who would happily wear a suit on a plane.
That sounds wonderful.
Sounds
I would
terrible.
die? How would it be terrible? You're proving.
Have you ever been on a plane that's sitting on the tarmac and it's 1,000 degrees inside that plane and the air is hot and you're sitting in a suit?
The
And you
longer
just- and
he
you-
gets to wear the suit, though.
And you reach up and you try to turn that
And it's
sad
hot.
little
It's
air
like a-
nozzle.
it's like
a
a-
sad air.
So
vent.
why
did you do the
dryer?
Nothing good ever.
Do you
comes
guys
out
do
of
this
that
thing where you
air
have your hand in front of it and
All
you're,
the
doing,
time.
you're going down towards your face? Like, all right, is this the right path?
Wait, does
Or-
anyone
movable?
And then once it gets in the air is way too cold.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
why does
yeah.
why does that happen? Like it just happened
Because
to me.
it's very cold up in the air. I don't know if you know this, Stugotz.
Right.
No, but why does the AC
You're
not
closer to the
work when I'm
sun.
stuck on the tarmac?
It's
colder up in the
1,000
air.
degrees outside.
But why?
It's
You're
cold in
closer to the
air.
sun.
I turn off my air conditioning once I get in the cabin. I turn
Really?
Yeah, I don't want
Really?
air blowing on me. I don't want that.
Again,
Yeah.
prime rib in first class was a thing, and now it's a bag of pretzels. And somebody tell me, like, what's the most offensive of these things? Because when I gave my credit card yesterday for the Wi-Fi, it hurt.
Well, and it's shite Wi-Fi too. Like
Oh,
it's
it's
not
terrible.
even good. Like if you try
It
to
is shite.
like
56K.
download a movie,
Nah.
like you have no chance.
You guys are flying wrong. Disconnect. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Well, you know what,
Pick up
Greg?
an in-flight magazine. Enjoy yourself.
I realized the theme of You're Back in My Days. You are essentially pining for boredom. And I think I agree with you.
Boredom's
I-
underrated.
Exactly.
I agree. I think on a plane, you could, get on the American Airlines browser, and they have free movies there that actually stream reasonably well as part of their Wi-Fi package, and you could enjoy the in-seat television. But part of being on a plane was there used to be no screen, there was no mobile
Thank
movies,
you.
mobile television shows. You had to find a way to entertain
Just
yourself.
alone with your
Yeah.
thoughts.
You read a book, you opened a magazine, you played a Sudoku puzzle, you were bored. And you had to figure out ways to fill the 5 hours worth of time.
Look out the window.
Or better yet, you did nothing at all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next time you're in a great people watching scenario, such as an airport, look around and see the number of people who are doing nothing. No magazine, no iPhone, no this, no that. They're just sitting there, perhaps with their hands clasped.
Nobody's doing that.
No
Exactly.
one's
It's
doing
an
that.
endangered
Wow.
species.
Exactly.
You
Nobody
have to have
does
some
nothing.
urgency
I
when you go through an
long for
airport.
boredom.
You don't
have
do
to.
that though.
Right.
I do occasionally.
No, you
Yeah.
don't.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, he does.
Damn right I do. I'm alone with my thoughts, and what better place to be?
You have a Miller Lite in your hand for sure.
Deep Eddies.
Well, I mean, I'm not crazy. I mean, you gotta say, libation. You gotta stay hydrated. Come on, it's a health concern. You gotta stay hydrated. But
Airport beer is a
Do
top
nothing.
beer. I love a good airport beer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yes.
what? No, do nothing. Not enough people do nothing.
That's right. That's a weekend
Just
right
sit
there.
there in an airport with your hands clasped, alone with your thoughts, just staring ahead.
Wait for your flights.
You're not taking a nap. You're not reading a book. You're not on your iPhone. You're just sitting there thinking.
You know the problem, Greg, is that people don't accept that nothing is something. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They don't.
Sometimes you say, "What are you doing this week?" And you're like, "Nothing." And they're like, "Oh, let's." It's like, "No, I'm doing nothing." You
Oh, I
don't-
love
that's
nothing.
the plan.
That's the best weekend.
The best.
I'd rather do nothing than go on vacation.
I'd rather do nothing than something any
Yeah.
day of the week.
Yeah.
Don't you do nothing on vacation? Isn't that part of the joy of
No,
vacation?
that's a problem.
Vacation is
Something on
very
vacation.
stressful.
Very
That's
stressful.
right.
You
We
work
feel
on
the need to
vacation.
do stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so for me, there's a difference between vacationing and traveling. Vacationing is you're on a beach with a drink in your hand. Traveling is you're going to see the sights of Rome. So if we're talking about vacationing,
Those are two different
Yeah.
things. One of them's
You're
active,
also on
one's not.
vacation when you're in Rome, though.
No, you're not.
no, but I
No.
would call that like I'm traveling. You would say I'm taking a vacation, but for me, vacationing is you're lying somewhere by water with a drink in your hand.
Right.
But you
And
feel the need to do something, though, even
No.
while on vacation. You do.
If you have 4 more
Yeah.
things planned for the day, you're not on vacation.
I think this is I'm 45. I got a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
pretty much.
Even when you're like relaxing vacation, you're still like, there's something on the other side of the island I want to go check out. Like you
Right.
always end up doing something.
You know how exhausting it is to spend an entire day at Disney World?
Oh, I'm glad you
It's-
brought that up.
Yes.
It's when the kids were small and we used to do that, I'm never more tired than at the end of a Disney World day. It's crazy.
The biggest misconception, and now that we don't work there anymore, it's safe, is that it's the happiest place on earth. Take a look around. Who's happy?
Only this 3-year-old that's not going to remember any of this is happy.
Or,
that's
I mean, but there's also a 50-50 chance that 3-year-old is absolutely terrified
Yes,
by
yes.
the anthropomorphic mascots that are standing in front of them
Very
that
true.
are
Tall
giant
Mickey.
and 4 times their size.
Yeah.
Imagine if a mouse was actually like 5 feet tall. How
it's
horrifying.
horrifying.
They
It's
are in New
horrifying.
York. What are you talking about?
It's actually a fairly remarkable upset story in the history of Americana that our greatest character for children is a mouse. Because they don't have a positive connotation in any other context.
No.
No.
You try to kill them.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Plus, they're timid. They're not even brave.
A great time to try and resurrect. I mean, I've been waiting. I've deeply missed Drunk Mickey or Tired Mickey. Your voice hasn't allowed. Have you retired that impersonation?
Eisner! No, I'm bringing it back.
Jack.
I will have something next week. Drunk Mickey will make his long, not awaited return next week.
Oh, next week. Okay.
That's right.
Wow,
Takes
that's
planning.
a good thing.
Yeah, it takes planning.